Hello guys, and good morning to all of your sunshiny faces. I almost said Sunday faces, guys. It's Wednesday, and guess what came in the mail today? My new food dehydrator. I'm so excited. So this is the one that's got the timer and everything like that. I'm gonna actually make some kale chips and test it out. The kale chips are supposed to bake for, dehydrate for 12 hours. So with the timer, that would be at midnight they'd be done. So it'll turn off automatically though with the timer and everything like that, so I don't even have to worry about it, because I'm gonna throw them in probably about now, and it's about noon now, so it'll be done at midnight, so I don't even have to worry about it, which is kind of nice. But I do have the organic kale I got at Caputo's, I think, on Sunday or Saturday. So I'm gonna use that and make some kale chips, which I'm just gonna do something like really simple, like, I don't know, just maybe some seasonings or whatever on it, because I can't do like the cashew ones, the cashew kale chips, because I don't have any cashews, which is a lot. The majority of the recipes is like cashews or possibly walnuts, which I don't have either of. I think it was walnuts or something like that, but you're supposed to like soak them in there and stuff. Anyway, I don't have that, so I'm just gonna probably do like salted kale chips, possibly with some like garlic salt over the top a little bit too. So yeah. Anyways, so, and then I'll have to see too if by midnight if it's actually done or not, or if it needs to dry out more too, depending on, like, if I check it and it looks like it's not done yet, I may do it like another hour or whatever too, before I go to bed, which will probably be about 10 o'clock. So anyways, that's what I'm up to. I actually just got out of the shower, so you guys have to excuse my craziness of hair, but I just had to share that with you guys because I was so excited it came today. I think it's a 5, I want to say, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's 5 drawers, which I told you guys I was looking at the 8 drawer one, and yeah, which is crazy, guys. I told you guys how much I love Amazon. So it says I ordered it on Sunday, and it said that it'd get here, the earliest would be Friday, between Friday and next Wednesday, and it came this Wednesday, which is crazy to me, because Amazon always sends my stuff to me so early. I love Amazon. Their shipping is amazing, which I guess for people that they're like, okay, they're expecting it to come between a certain time and it comes earlier, like, they might be frustrated about it, but like for me, I'm like, hey, that's awesome if it's gonna get here earlier. But that and my dad's thing both came today, which he was like football wristbands. They were supposed to, he ordered actually expedited shipping too on it, because he had to have them, they were supposed to be here, the latest was Friday, and he has to have them for Saturday, and so he was expecting, and so I don't know if they would have sent that like we would have gotten them at the same time if he wouldn't have paid for the expedited shipping, because it was from a different company. This was actually shipped through Amazon, whereas the other company was like Locker Sports or something like that. So I assume that it probably would have ended up coming though today, no matter what, if whether or not it would, because mine wasn't supposed to come until the earliest was Friday, and it still ended up coming earlier. So I'm gonna make some kale chips now. All right, guys, so I've got it on, set for 12 hours. It's supposed to be at 1:18, so kind of somewhere in there. That's what it said, so that's what I ended up doing roughly. And I only used up 4 of the trays in here for the kale chips, so I used up the first 4 in there. And it's actually a little bit loud. You guys can probably hear it. I mean, it's not super loud. It sounds like the dishwasher, but I just didn't know that it was going to be noisy at all. I didn't know, I guess, the noise level, but it's just like the fan or whatever is back there that dehydrates the stuff. But guys, this book that came with it is actually super helpful. It's got tons and tons of like recipes, what to cook everything at. They didn't have a kale chip one in there, so I just looked one up online, but they've got like tons of stuff how to do almost everything, like how to do herbs, how to, everything in there pretty much. Plus it has some other recipes too that didn't even really have anything to do with like the dehydrator, just like if you already had the dehydrated fruits or vegetables or whatever, like what you could then use them for. And so it was like super helpful. So I really love the dehydrating guide that came with it. It's awesome. It's actually too, I didn't even know, but the whole thing is actually American made, which is even awesomer. I just didn't even know that. So yeah, I'm gonna go put this away, but it's what's it called? I love this. It's got tons of like stuff in like troubleshooting stuff too, if you know something isn't working, or you know if like this stuff is dehydrating on one side, not on the other side, what to do and stuff like that. So super excited about that. Now we're gonna have kale chips in about 12 hours. I think though like halfway through maybe I'll check it just to see, because too, one of the troubleshooting things was some of my stuff is drying on one side. What should I do? And it always says like if that happens then you should just flip the trays. So I'll try that out if this stuff looks like it's dehydrating unevenly, but for the most part you know, I'll just check it in about 6 or so hours. So probably about, well, it's almost 1 o'clock now, so maybe I'll check it about 6 or 7, probably when we get home from football practice, because we'll be home by like 7:30, so probably maybe about 8 o'clock. So after football practice I'll check it just to see how it's going, just to make sure nothing's dehydrating unevenly. They're not like over dehydrated or not under dehydrated either too. Like I'll check them before I go to bed at like 10 o'clock or whatever, and just see like if they look like they're not going to be done, should I keep dehydrating for a while. But yeah, dehydrating is a long process, because you figure when I do kale chips in the oven it takes about like 15 minutes sometimes, and with this is 12 hours, but you're not losing any of that nutrients either because it's dehydrated. I'm sorry guys, my hair is still like all wet and nasty. I gotta go brush it and stuff, but like if you think about it, you're not losing any of the nutrients because it's just dehydrating the food, and it's not actually like taking those nutrients away by baking them, whereas you know you just turn them into like chips, you know, basically. Whereas this way it's actually like a nutritious chip, a lot more nutritious than even doing them in the oven, which I mean they're still insanely healthy for you even if you are doing them in the oven, but you know. So I added a little bit of sea salt to it, because I have one thing of sea salt, and then I also added a little bit of garlic powder as well, just so they're a little bit garlicky, and then also olive oil just to get everything to stick to it, you know, the salt and stuff like that. So we'll see how it turns out. Like I said, I want to try and do like a mock version of the vampire killer, what is it, Brad's raw kale chips. I love the Vampire Slayer kale chips, so I'm going to try and see if I can't find a mock version online, because it's pretty much, this is exactly how they do it. But the thing is, I could probably just go to like Jewel where they sell it, look on the back, see what the ingredients are, and then go home and basically just add it to the kale chips, because I think it's like cashew, which was one of the things that it suggested in one of the other kale recipes, cashews, and then there was something else too, I can't remember what else was in there. But obviously it was like Vampire Slayer, so it was garlic. It was a garlic kale chip, so there was like garlic in there too. So that's kind of what I added a little bit. We'll see how they turn out though. I'm super excited, guys. So I'm cooking dinner. We're gonna have some chicken soup. It's a what is it called? I think it's like tomato or lime, chicken lime, I think, or something like that. It's like cilantro chicken lime, I think. And so I used majority organic, well, not majority, I guess, but the chicken broth was all organic, and the celery was organic as well. And then I'm making another chicken soup as well later in the week, and that is going to be chicken broth organic, carrots that are organic, and then also celery that's organic. So I'm slowly getting along into trying to use mainly organic products. And then, so yeah, and then my organic kale chips for today I'll share with you guys. These are turning out pretty well so far, you guys can see right here. So yeah, I might switch the trays too a little bit, because these are looking pretty crispy down here already. And then the ones on the top are looking not quite as crispy. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. But the ones on the bottom look a lot crispier, and I just don't know, because the ones on the bottom are mainly all of the smaller pieces, so they would obviously dry faster, but they are looking pretty crispy already, and I'm hoping I'm not going to over like dehydrate them to the point where they're like not even chip like anymore, and they're like overdone where they're just like powdery. Because that's another thing you can do with the dehydrator, is like if you get like onion, you dehydrate enough out of it, basically when you take it out it turns into like powder, so you use that as onion powder, garlic powder. You do the same thing with garlic. So I'm hoping I'm not gonna overdo them, but I'd assume not, right? Because that's what the directions said. They said to do it for 12 hours. So it's only about 4 hours in. A little bit less than 4 hours in, and they're looking pretty good. So yeah, this I have to get it up to a boil, which it looks like it's boiling, and then reduce the heat and leave the lid on for about an hour, which means it'll be done about 5:30. So I'm not sure we're going to be able to, or 5:15ish, so I'm not sure we're going to be able to eat before we actually go to football practice. But we might real quick. If not, we'll eat it when we get home, and I'll just like turn it back on for a few minutes on low and then just warm it up again when we get back. So that's what's, ooh, I'm wondering, I want to try one of these. They're actually my dad's. Matthew keeps taking them for football practice. I haven't actually had one of them yet, but they're Wild Oats organic chocolate chip granola bars. And the thing is, like, even though they're kind of not quite as healthy for you, they're organic, so they're a little bit healthier for you. Like, you know, it's got chocolate and whatever and whatnot in it, but it's healthier because it's got, you know, it's organic. So I guess I can, you know, it's better than eating a Pop-Tart, let's just say that much. So the kale chips are actually done because guys, the one I read online was really off. I read the manual again and was just checking in there because it doesn't list kale specifically. It says greens. I wasn't looking for greens, so I kind of looked over it. But it said that they're supposed to cook for like 4 to 7 hours or something like that. And mine were in there, I don't even know how long it's been now. 8 hours? About 8. Which is longer than it's supposed to be, actually. Or maybe about close to that. A little bit less than that. Because we got home at like 8 o'clock, so probably about 7 hours. So almost the exact time. But they're like perfectly crunchy. Perfect. The only thing I will say, I think I added too much salt. I added about a teaspoon of sea salt, and they're really salty. And kale on its own, when it is like when I bake it or whatever in the oven, it's always a little salty. And I read this on several recipes, they're like, don't overdo it with the salt. So I was like, okay, well, I won't. Thinking 1 teaspoon wasn't that much for the amount of kale, the whole bunch I was using, but I think it was. And so next time I'll probably just add like a half a teaspoon, and maybe like a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half, or maybe a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, because that's what I ended up using. And they're very garlicky, but they're very salty too. So they're like perfect crunchiness. I've actually got bananas in here now, and they're supposed to be in there for 6 to 8 hours or something. And so I got 2 rows of bananas that I'm gonna do, and that's gonna go until tomorrow. But I put them in for 7 hours. I think it's 6 to 10 hours because it's humid out, and that will have an effect on the food, you know, when it dehydrates. And so I just decided I'll do it 7, and then when I wake up in the morning, they should be done by about like 6ish in the morning. So I'll get up probably like 7 or 8, and then check on them. Or no, they wouldn't be done. Yeah, they'd be done at like 6 o'clock mostly. No, not 6 o'clock. I don't even know when they'd be done. Anyways, I'll check on them in the morning when I wake up and see if they're not firm like they're supposed to be. I know what banana chips are supposed to be like because what's it called? I have had banana chips before. So if they're not to where they should be, I'll throw them in for like another hour or 2 or something like that. But I feel like I'm like doing, like I should have like done, well the thing is the bananas cook at a different temperature actually than the kale chips do. The majority of the fruit will cook for a different temperature than the vegetables. At least in the book it says the fruits are supposed to be at 135, vegetables at 125, and then it says the accordance of how much you know, what the time is supposed to be. And so the chips, I think, what was I gonna say, the banana chips I wanted to find something else to put in there with them, but I didn't have anything else, and so I was like, oh, I don't want to waste like a space in there when I could use the time to do something, you know, something else like sun-dried tomatoes, because I do have grape tomatoes, and I was thinking about that, and then I was like, I don't know. So if I can't find something real quick and throw something in there, then maybe not. But I was just thinking, I was like, sun-dried tomatoes would be perfect. Like to throw them on salads or whatever, that would be perfect. And two, the sun-dried tomatoes, they won't go bad as fast as regular tomatoes will. So it's perfect for doing that, you know, because banana chips won't go as bad as regular bananas. The only thing I do have to say is real quick, I'm actually going to spray them with lemon juice really quickly. I think I showed you guys this maybe yesterday. I got this at, oh goodness, where'd it go? I got a little, oh, it's in here. I got this thing. It's actually for fresh lemon juice. I'm going to put just a little bit of the lemon juice that we already have in, you know, the pre-packaged little thingy in here, and then just spray them over the top so they don't go brown, because they will go brown, and putting lemon juice on them will keep them from going brown. The same with apples. So I'm going to do that actually really quickly because I just forgot about it. But then yeah, those will be ready for breakfast in the morning pretty much. So I'm gonna try out some banana chips. Hey guys, so I'm gonna go to bed, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's vlog. I'm sorry guys, I'm not gonna be doing much this week because of football and everything like that. Saturday will actually be our first scrimmage. I think I've told you guys this a few days now, but this week is gonna be super exciting. Ooh, mosquito. It's gonna be super exciting. But you know, anyway though, we did have some, I've had so much fun using the new food dehydrator. It's awesome. And you guys will see in tomorrow's vlog how the banana chips turn out, and I'm gonna figure out to see what else I can dehydrate, because I'm like super excited about trying to dehydrate all this stuff now. I think I'm gonna bulk up a little bit more in my produce, simply for the fact that now that I can dehydrate it, I can buy a lot more, and it's not gonna go bad. So I'm gonna make my list tomorrow. Caputo's Ime Valley produce deals look pretty good for produce this week, so that should be pretty fun. But anyways, if you guys did enjoy today's vlog, give it a thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. So bye guys. Guys, we got done watching Pretty Little Liars, and honestly, I might cry because it was not what I wanted in a season finale. I feel like it was, and I'm not going to try and spoil it for anybody, it was insanely rushed, is my best analysis of it. And it was not at all what I had envisioned it being.